Going on, world? It's your boy Najee from RapRadar.com. Yo, today I got a very special guest, man. Y'all see, this quarantine edition, man, so we got to do this now. But I got my man, one of the hardest in the streets, my man Benny the Butcher. What's good, Benny?
The Butcher coming. What's shaking, my boy?
Man, yo, everything is good, man. This Cigar Talk. Usually I have a cigar for niggas. We supposed to do it the right way.
right.
We gotta, you know what I mean? So pull up or something, get in your zone, whatever, whatever you do. Man, yo, how you been holding up during this quarantine, man?
Oh man, just taking advantage of the time I got to myself, meetings, in the studio a lot. You know what I mean? Just everything you could do without touring, just trying to stay on my business and trying to stay on my grind, you know what I mean? Not letting up.
Yeah. It's funny because I talk to a lot of the homies and we just kind of like, in the industry, like, damn, with rappers without being able to tour, shit is getting a little rough, man. And I feel like, being that you guys are independent, the money a little different that way.
Oh yeah, the money a little different, but I don't know.
Good way.
In a good way. That's what I'm about to say, because I don't know, like, you know what I mean? And we got other avenues of making bread and shit like that, and you know what I mean? We just think about us, man. We just got the business set up where we not missing nothing. You know what I mean? And this gonna teach a lot of rappers that you're gonna need to move like that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need to have your money. You're going to need to save your money, stack your money, and don't be like dependent on one source of income when you're in this business. Because as you can see, this shit could fucking, you know what I mean? This shit could stop.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Man, yo, y'all, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Y'all niggas had a hell of a year last year, dog.
Yes, we did.
Man, it's crazy because, so I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like I was one of the last real niggas on the train, and for me, I just feel like, well, one, I love what y'all doing and what y'all represent. That's one. But the type of person, I'm like an anti-hype guy. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
The hype was so crazy, and the way niggas in the street is talking, it just made me like, man, I can't. Come on, man. But now like, it's really just at the point where you gotta respect it. How much do you sense that? Just like this time has kind of really been the breaking point.
I feel it because, you know what I'm saying, I'm Griselda, you know what I mean? I'm part of Griselda, so I was around 3 years when, you know what I mean, when we wasn't getting that love, you know what I mean, when we wasn't getting the accolades and everything. So it's kind of like we worked it up to that point, and I could feel it, and it's all love, and we just appreciate the love, and we happy to be here. We're gonna do our part, you know what I mean? We not letting up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we 3 grown-ass men, and we hustling, you know what I mean? We putting on for the city.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, it's funny because, like, when I first kind of caught wind of the movement, maybe about 2-3 years ago, maybe, and to me, it was primarily just what I knew. It was West Side and Conway, and then like I think I heard about you, but it wasn't really like that. And it seemed like just in the last year or two, you started really kind of coming to the forefront, the way people talking about the Butcher. How did you see that shift kind of happen like that?
I think I definitely started to see that shift when I dropped Tainted Talk 3, when I dropped my first album on Griselda. I think people appreciated that album for exactly what it was. It was grimy street beats. It was reminiscent of an era that we haven't seen in a minute. And I was rapping my ass off. That's before I had a few dollars. So I was like, I was the hungriest. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I was still living in the projects when I wrote that. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people that. So it's like, I had that hunger that now I'm gonna be able to write better bars, but I would never ever have that hunger again. You know what I'm saying? You can't replace that. So I kind of felt that I caught everybody in that moment, and they lived that moment with me, and basically the album did what it was set out to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, shout out to my brother B Dot. That's like my brother, and
it's my boy right there, man.
Yo, he the one that made me. He was like, yo, nigga, he was forcing me to fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I think the first record he played was Rubber Bands and Weight. And that's when I was like, oh shit, damn, like, and I think that hunger about, kind of what you talking about, like, you kind of feel that. How important is that part to you? Just, what I'm saying, just conveying that authenticity.
That's everything to me because, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's all I got. Everybody getting in this game, man, everybody try to give you advice. Yo, you need to make this kind of record. Yo, you need to do that. You need to dress like this. You need to say this. You need to say that. A lot of times it's fucked up. But a lot of times, more than 5 times, people gonna sat me down and ask me like, okay, what's your gimmick? And I'm like, bro, I don't have a gimmick. My gimmick is, you know what I'm saying, who I am. My gimmick is that I've been through all this bullshit and I'm standing right here in front of you today. Like, I don't have no gimmick. I'm just a regular person, you know what I'm saying? So authenticity is everything, you know what I mean? And that's what I try to do. I try to make it sound real. When I'm talking about the hood, I'm trying to make it sound real. When I'm talking about cooking work, I'm trying to make it sound real. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make I'm trying to make everything sound like, okay, we know what he's talking about. He really been there before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I thought it was interesting what you just said, like, you know, just the gimmick part, because, you know, that's what it feel like today a lot of times, because we see, you know, artists just sort of getting on and going viral quick because they look a certain way or they doing some fuck shit or whatever the case is. And I think even with y'all, you know, well, hold on, yo, Ben, I can't hear you real quick. Yeah, say it again. It cut off.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
And I was just saying, I ain't mean to cut you off, but I was just saying, as soon as they go viral, them niggas be on back of a milk cart. You never hear from them again.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But I think it's interesting, man, because like we always say, like, you know, working in the industry, everybody, you know, rap is a young man's game. And I feel like you guys, y'all came in and sort of really broke the mold at a time where it felt like everyone who was coming in the game is just, you know, teenagers, young 20s, and y'all kind of came in the game on some whole different shit and created a lane. Like, did you foresee that at that point, that it was possible to do that?
I kind of didn't. You know what I'm saying? I kind of didn't foresee that. But coming from where I come from and a hustle that we hustled to get here is that my goal, I'm blessed, you know what I'm saying? But my goal wasn't this. I always tell people that I'm 35 years old, right? And I mean, I got 3 felonies, and I've been rapping since I was about 8 years old. I've been rapping professionally since I was 16. So catching these felonies and coming home and being in the streets, I done came to terms with myself. Like, yo, you might not never get on. I told that to myself before a few times. So even with that, it was like, okay, what's the next after that? I was feeling like I could take over my region. And that was my plan, is like to take over my region. And and that was in my power. Like, I didn't need a label for that. I didn't need like no cosigns for that. So I worked on what I could change. So it's like, I didn't expect that we'd get to this moment. And on a ladder up here, I'm like, okay, they're gonna let us have a little run. And then I'm like, damn, they're gonna let us have more than a run. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope that they allowing the old heads back in the game, if that's what they want to call us. But this is a grown man's game. This is a man's world. I tell everybody, this is a grown man's game. Look at Tom Brady. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at LeBron James. LeBron James is my age. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, young dudes, you know, they do their thing, but the best of the best of the best will always be the 30 and up club. You know what I'm saying? Will always be. That's just real shit.
30 the new 20. I feel that. Yo, so kind of even with that said, like, I feel like, to me, you know, like when Slaughterhouse kind of came out, that's the feeling of what y'all are doing kind of feels like what they were trying to achieve, which is like you got all these elite spitters sort of kind of in this lane and breaking that mold. Do you feel like that y'all kind of took that lane of what that was supposed to be?
Man, you know what? I don't feel like it, but I can't speak for other people. I know other people feel like it. And not to mention, like, we on Shady Records. We on that label. So, you know what I'm saying? Griselda is signed to Shady. So I could see where people can make those comparisons. You can hear records. You can hear me on the record with Royce. We fuck with Royce, and we fuck with Crook. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Joe Ortiz and shout out Joe Button. We fuck with them too. And it's like, you know, people see the similarity. So I understand why people say it, but I kind of don't see it.
Yeah. Okay. Yo, so tell me, man, I just kind of want to, you know, get into depth a little bit just about your life. I mean, because I listen to records, you know what I'm saying? Like when I fuck with the music, I'm listening to the stories behind the shit. And, you know, obviously you talking about the gut of that real street shit that we like to hear kind of coming from upstate. What you think? Because I know when I was growing up, you know, I had a couple people go up top and then they come back and tell me like, yo, nah, it's real. It get real up there upstate. But the perception from New York City be like, nah, they not giving it up upstate like that. How was that part? Just kind of the New York sort of aspect of it.
I can understand it because it's like this. Everybody does that to a town smaller than them. You know what I'm saying? It's smaller towns that surround Buffalo. And Buffalo niggas like, man, they ain't giving it up over there.
Yeah.
So that's what everybody do. You know what I mean? I'm in Atlanta right now. So I'm pretty sure like Atlanta niggas might be like, and Macon, Georgia, that's different from here. You know what I'm saying? It is different. But, you know what I mean? Buffalo don't be trying to be New York. And I can see where people get here go the real technical answer to that. When you from New York City and you come upstate, it's a whole bunch of hills and you ride past, it's mountains and valleys and you ride past a couple farms and shit like that. It's not big mountains, it's like hills and shit.
Yeah.
So Buffalo and Rochester, there's no hills or there's nothing like that. So they might think, so when you go upstate and you in them rural towns, they think that's how the whole shit look.
Right.
Because them dudes who unless they been in Buffalo on the east side, west side, they really don't. They don't get the feel like you got to pull up. All my niggas from the city, I bring them niggas right to Buffalo and they love it. Like when we going back to Buffalo, then niggas done seen there. Them niggas done been in the middle of shootouts. Them niggas done came up there and got money. We done fought niggas, so they know what it is. My niggas will come up there. You know what I mean?
Right. Nah, that's a fact. Just talk to me about, because I know I forget the name of the legendary block you was on. I know you talk about the block where it's like the long strip, and that was just
that piece. Montana.
Yeah. Oh, so on
Montana Avenue.
Yeah. Just kind of talk to me about that, because I know you even had a line like, when y'all I think you said the first lick you caught, it was a stick.
I don't got it on today.
Got the Montana? There you go.
I ain't wearing it today. You know what I mean?
There you
Montana.
Go. Yeah. All right. Word. I know you said in one of your lines, it was like, the first lick you caught was a stick up with an empty gun.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting because I was like, street niggas know how dangerous that is coming up there with that. What was that point in your life like? Was it just like, nigga, we gonna get this money by any means? Like, what kind of type of time were you on?
Man, it was like this. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I was 15, and when you're at that age, you're coming of age. You feel what I'm saying? You're turning into the person who you gonna be. So you trying things out. And around that time in my hood, everybody was toting guns. Everybody was doing something. You was doing some street shit. You was selling dope. You was fighting. You was shooting, and you was getting some money. In the hood, you only respected by two things, man. When you playing in the streets, you respected by how tough you is, or you respected by how much money you get. You feel what I'm saying? So around that time, me and my best friend, City Boy, I did the robbery with him. That's my best friend to this day. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, shit, we was on our shit. We was seeing niggas come with the Jordans and come with the gear and shit, the platinum FUBU shit. We wanted to, you know what I mean? We wanted to have our shit on too.
Back then,
yeah, exactly. We wanted to have our shit right too. So we was doing what we had to do. We wasn't asking for no handouts. And actually, man, it was a couple dope spots on the next block from mine. It was like 3 or 4 of them. And what we used to do, we used to play the corner. And I'm saying, on just real shit, niggas used to stick up the fiends on the way to the dope spot. You feel what I'm saying? And we used to take turns doing it. Like, yo, it's your turn. I just did it last night. No, nigga, it's your turn. I did it twice. Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit.
Right. So at what point was it like, now that you kind of jumped off the porch, you seeing different shit, you seeing niggas getting money. At what point was it where you was really like, all right, I'm about to be knee deep and really go out and get this money?
No, man, it's crazy because I remember now at this point I was 16. I was going to school and I was rapping in school, and this dude was like, yo, you think you could rap? I'm gonna introduce you to my uncle after school. He introduced me to his uncle, and his uncle, like, niggas had like diamond jewelry. Niggas was living in the hood though. Niggas had like whips, the foreigns outside, TVs in the whips. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Right. Niggas had studio equipment. You could tell it was expensive shit in the house. And I came in there on some rapping shit. So I was like rapping with those niggas for like 6 months. I ended up like being the first niggas I was rapping with besides like Death Valley and shit. Yeah. So I knew the nigga had money and I was just rapping with him. But if you ever heard of a legendary gangster from Buffalo, Sly Green, this dude he introduced. These both were Sly Green nephews. Okay. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like I said, I was young. I really wasn't thinking nothing of it. I'm thinking like, okay, he introduced me to his uncle some type of music producer. So, you know, I was a young nigga. So we used to have like little shows and interviews. He used to fleet me up for them shits, take me to the mall, get me some shit to wear. Right. He was a big homie. So, you know, a couple times I called him like, yo, big homie, I'm fucked up, da-da-da. And then he called me one time. He called me, you know, I was hustling and shit, but child's play shit.
Right.
He called me one time. He said, man, you know what? You need a job. He said, I'm come over. I got a job for you tomorrow. And man, I was happy. I told my mom, like, yo, Mom, I started a job tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's lit. I was happy. I wasn't going to be broke no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't give a fuck. I mean, he came over and he had dope for me. I thought this man had a real job.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You had a suit, a button up on.
Real shit. And he had dope for me. He came over and he had dope. I'm like, okay, I like this job even better. But price was so low, I sold that shit all that day to my other big homies because they was doing their thing, but they didn't have a price like that. So it's like, he gave that to you for what? Give me all that shit. You know, right. Give it, call him right back. And then I was on. You know what I'm saying? I was like the first nigga I was making moves with. I was on.
Yeah. Man. I mean, you know, obviously, like, you know, just kind of listening to the stories and, you know, listening to you get it. I know the joint, my first brick, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, everybody that knows street niggas, when you know, the first one that you touch, that's a big deal, right? That's like that's
real shit.
In the hood.
You never forget it.
How was that for you? Like, at what point, how did you feel at that point when you was messing with that, when you was on that level, like, oh, nigga, I'm out here. Like, what kind of mind frame were you in that space?
I thought I was Tony Montana. I thought I was Tony Montana. It was like, you know, my walk was different. My talk was different.
Yeah.
You know, it's that different type of money around it, and it's a different type of access. You know what I'm saying? And it was from niggas who wasn't in my city. So it's like, you know, niggas see I'm moving a certain way. They wonder like, yo, how the fuck he, you know what I mean? Yeah. But they don't know because these is niggas who y'all don't even know, you know what I mean? Niggas who I met in the feds. Niggas end up coming home and keeping in touch with each other, and you know what I'm saying, end up getting money with those niggas, and you know, it's just when you a street nigga, man, that you a hustler, that just give you confidence. You know what I'm saying? There's different type of paper coming in. Is when you a street nigga, new opportunities.
Yeah.
New plugs want to mess with you. You know what I'm saying? So right. I was feeling myself. That's how I feel right now though with this rap shit. I feel like I got my first break. I feel how I feel right now.
Like that? Man. Yeah. I like shit. That. That's a good feeling, my nigga. Salute.
Not real shit.
You know what I'm saying? I think another part of just what I like about it, because, you know, we come from that. You know, I see that. We come from that. So when I can relate to that, when I hear that, but I like that you don't really just glorify it, right? You kind of giving both sides of the coin on the wins and the losses of it. And I know you openly about your time, you know, getting jammed up. I think you say you did 2 years the first time. What was that part like? Like when you get jammed up, the first time you got to do a bid, was it smooth because you already knew niggas there, or was it like a real big adjustment? Like, what was that part like?
I'm not gonna lie, it was an adjustment. It wasn't that hard, but you know what I'm saying. My first bid was a federal case. You know how they do. You know what I'm saying. I was 18, and they told me in my arraignment, they told me I was facing 5 to 40 years for doing some shit that I basically did every day in my life.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, you know what I mean? They doing shit like that. And it was an eye opener, you know what I'm saying? It was an eye opener letting me know that, you know, you got to play for keeps. You can't be moving out here reckless because there's real consequences behind the shit that we doing every day. And, you know, that was my first opportunity to get to see how the people around me act. You know what I'm saying? I got to see how friends act when you go away. I got to see how late your females act, the family, you know what I'm saying? So it was adjustment because I wasn't used to that, you know what I mean? And I went back 2 more times after that. And those was an adjustment too. I'm gonna be honest. I never went to go do a bid like, man, it's nothing. It's like I done got there and it done been like, you know what I'm saying? Nothing that nigga can't do when you out here, but you know, it take a toll on you. And like you said, I love to tell the other side of the story because that's more relatable than me sitting up here talking about I had a brick and everything like that. Cause you know, there's niggas in jail for petty shit. And it's like, even when you playing in the streets and you know the consequences, like like right before I got on, you know what I'm saying? I made a tweet about this. I was in my 30s with 3 felonies, still taking them same penitentiary chances every day. So it's like me, that's all I had to do. That was all in front of me. So I came to the terms to myself as like, yo, you know, they kick this door and you're gonna be gone for at least 10.
Right.
And for me, I didn't have no other way, so I was cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I was all right with that. I understood that. But maybe my daughter ain't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could do the time. If you the toughest man in the world, whatever you is, maybe you could do the time. But could your mama do that time? You know what I'm saying? You might come home, we older, you might come home, your mama might be sick while you locked up. Could your kids, you know what I'm saying? You do a bit like that, you come home, your kids won't know you. If you could handle it, like, could the people around you handle it? And you got to start thinking like that. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's a fact. I think that part is interesting, man. Even in the Broken Bottles record, I know you say you caught your nephew, out here trying to with some work or whatever, but you schooled him, and I think you said you wasn't mad as long as let me show you how to do it. Talk about that, like this kind of your family, like you said, is your family go through shit with you. You know what I mean? And you catching your nephew with that. What was that like? You ain't want to tell him like, man, I put the work down, or
No, because you can't be mad at him because he's doing it out of a sense of desperation. You feel what I'm saying? And when you're an uncle or when you're a brother or you're a father, and you see somebody under you do that, you kind of blame yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit, this what he been doing, because I probably ain't been showing up to practices with him, or I probably ain't been talking to him about school. So you're like, that's what he doing. So within your guilt, like you try to help him, like, that's what you're doing. You sure you ready for that? All right, well, come here, let me show you how you really supposed to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that type of thing, because and a lot of times some of our OGs don't school us. I'm like I said, I'm from $1 million block. Niggas $20,000 a day come up. So a lot of times the OGs wasn't about, oh, go ahead, Benny, it's your turn. The OGs was like, yo, nigga, don't be up here. This our block. I mean, I'm like, what, nigga? I was born over here in 1984, like y'all niggas.
Right.
But they wasn't trying to hear that shit because they was older than me. So a lot of times I had to wait till them niggas left, or they was gone, go do my thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like they did that to me because right down the block, there was money coming down there. That's what they old heads did to them. So I kind of feels like sometimes it's important to embrace the youth, you know what I'm saying? And whatever they doing, you know what I'm saying? You got to talk to them in their language.
That's a fact. Nah, that's a fact. I know one of my favorite records that you did, the Me and Doug joint. I love that record hard, bro. That record hard. And I know you spitting some shit on there, and I know, like, I think, was that the record you said eating in the same mess hole as Emory?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yep.
Talk about that. I mean, I feel like people kind of, they might have heard that y'all knew each other, but that's like to meet the nigga in jail, and then now you signed to Rock Nation. Like, that's just a crazy ass fucking story.
That's crazy. And like I said, I remember being like, I used to work in the kitchen in the feds. I remember him coming down, like putting his plate up and shit, and I'm just like putting like, but I don't know what I'm putting on the plate, but I'm like putting rice on the nigga plate. But in my head, I'm thinking like, yo, you hold, man, you don't even need this rice.
Hold on, you knew who it was already? You knew who
hell yeah. As soon as I got there, the homies gave me the layout layer. That's such and such. Yeah, that's such and such. That's such and that's such and such. I'm like, oh word, you know what I mean? So I'm like, damn. I remember vividly, like, I'm giving this nigga rice. I'm like, yo, you don't even need this rice.
Right. Well, so how was it in there? Was it on some, like, when obviously niggas know what that is, right? He's sitting up, he come home, is lit, right? And
niggas know what that is. It's like different. Hove is different.
Hove different, yeah.
Hove different. So you know what that is. That's how. It's funny because we was all in a fucked up situation, and when you in jail, you know what I'm saying, you spend a lot of time thinking about what you're gonna do when you get out. And we knew he was set when he got out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to be in his business or nothing like that, because I'm pretty sure he a hard working ass nigga. He a hustler, you know what I'm saying? And I got to be around him and I got to see that. Like, he's on everything. He be on me like, yo, we need to do this, we need to do that. Yo, you need to check in more. Like, he be on me. You feel what I'm saying? So I know what type of person he is, and that's why him and Hov, you know what I'm saying, hustle the way they hustle. So it's like, I'm not saying that he came home to a handout. We just know like he had an opportunity when he come home. We know he had a good one. And it was like, niggas looked at him different. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had no choice to.
Was you like trying to fuck with him in there, or just kind of just happened like that, or what was
I didn't. I was letting him be him because I know it was a lot of niggas moving, you know what I mean? And plus, like, we was hot in there. We was doing everything. We rocking with the cell phones. We getting shit in. We got liquor in there. We was hot boys in there, man. We was doing some crazy shit.
Right. And I mean, you know, now everything is kind of full circle, man. Like, you know, you signed the Rock Nation. You think the meeting with West Side, everybody with Hove and all of that, man. Um, talk about that. Like, I guess what kind of game you picked up from him? That's big homie. So we always trying to pick up game when he speaks. Like, what kind of game did you get from him?
You know, I just got the, you know what I'm saying? I learned a lot of shit by just watching. You know what I'm saying? You know, him, you got Hove, you got Tata, you got M, and you just looking at these dudes and you know they've been down for 20 plus years with each other grinding from the streets to music. And that made me just want to hustle harder with my friend, because I told you the same dude who I was doing stick-ups on the corner with, robbing fiends. Yeah. When that dude told me he had a job for me and he dropped that load off, I split that with him. And you know what I'm saying? That's my business partner. We just did the deal over at E1 for our record label.
Congratulations.
And it's like, thank you. And it's like, you know, that made me want to hustle hard with the people around me. That made me want to get the people around me opportunities, you know what I'm saying? And I just, you know, what the fuck he said? He said there's one shit about like when I didn't do the double XL, you know what I'm saying? That taught me that, you know, these people be having opportunities for you. And sometimes they dangling the opportunity over your head. Sometimes you don't, it's okay to say no to this shit, you know what I'm saying? And there's no disrespect, it's just business. So I just realized that I'm not in a position where I gotta feel like everything is a good opportunity or everything I gotta jump on or take. You feel what I'm saying? So I learned that from him. I learned a lot from West. I learned a lot from a lot of these niggas by being around, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact, man. I want the people to know how solid Emory is. It's funny because so before I was really in the industry, I know I interned for Rock Nation. And I guess I met Emory in the office one time. And I was doing my thing on the side, you know, trying to get my money. And I was driving an Uber too. So I was like, this is the first time I ever did it. I was like, yo, I'm gonna try this shit out. I want to be on the low. I ain't want nobody to see me driving over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be on the low. So I went to Manhattan. The first ride I ever did, the shit say Emory. And I'm like, nah, ain't no way. Sure enough, it was the day he pulled up in the show. I'm like, nigga, get in the front, nigga. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, but he always been solid, man. So I just want people to understand that, man. That's a dope story.
You know, always, like even in the Bing, like he wasn't no cocky nigga. He carried himself like a regular nigga. You know what I'm saying? For niggas like that, and don't be on them, to be in them. You know what I'm saying? He one of the real ones.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yo, talk to me about you and G Herbo's relationship, man. Y'all got records like early though, like way back. And I was like,
crazy.
How did that come about?
It's crazy you said that because he just sent me a verse back yesterday. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. Yeah. I know talent when when I see it. I know a rapper when I see it. And that nigga could rap. You know what I'm saying? He gonna rhyme the fuck up them syllables and he gonna talk some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Good music to me evokes emotion. And he know how to do that. You know what I mean? So he was in my city. And that's, you know what I'm saying? That's when I'm, you know, running around. I'm in the streets. And I'm like, you know what? Because like I said, I always been doing this music shit, investing in me, always doing that. So I'm like, oh, G Herbo in the city. I'm like, I need to get a feature from him while he out here. You know what I'm saying? So shot him a couple racks and he came through the lab and he did a verse. You know what I'm saying? Came through the next day and did the verse.
Nice.
And hell yeah. And then we've been rocking A since then. Like he'd come to the town, he'd hit me and shit. He see that I got this new situation going on. And we just working. You know what I mean? We just working. I fuck with little homie.
Word.
He bossing up all the way. I told him I'm proud of him, man. He came a long way.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I like to see that. Yo, talk to me about what's going on next, man. Because I've been hearing I'm hearing the Harry Fraud tape coming. I'm hearing the Hit Boy tape coming. I'm like, this nigga out here working for real. Like, what's coming up next? How you gonna like kind of roll this thing out, man?
Man, I wish I could talk about more. I wish I could talk about this more and really knew what the fuck was going on. But both of those projects is done, ready to fucking rock and roll. I got a situation where I'm about to take my talents to a label. You know what I'm saying? So you know that kind of plays a factor on which one I'm dropping first. You feel what I'm saying? So we're gonna know real soon. People gonna it's gonna be developments in the next 30, 45 days. People gonna know it. And don't worry about it. Like they gonna get something. The streets gonna get something from Benny this summer, guaranteed.
All right. Well, at least we can't talk about too much, but give me just because when I think of Hit Boy, like when I think of your sound and just kind of the sound of like Griselda, I don't really think of Hit Boy. You know what I mean? So when I heard that, I was just like, damn, what the fuck do that sound like? What can you describe those sessions?
Man, I know that I wanted to rap my ass off every time I walked in there. Plaques on the wall. I bumped into Nas in that studio. To be in the same studio where Nip recorded and shit, you know, it's like nostalgic. And I kind of was at a point where I wanted to show niggas that I'm deep. I'm deep in this Birkin. I'm deep in my bag.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So I was rapping and talking my shit, talking that street shit, and feeling like I gotta stand up on niggas and show. Like, you know, this is like, it's really gonna be my second album, but it's really gonna be my first one. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I really wanted to show what I could do on this, and I wanted to show my range on this one. And trust me, it's all street shit. It's you getting Benny on there. It's all street shit. And when we started working on that album, it's just like Hit Boy hit me. It's like, yo, come out, you should come cook. And we just did a song or two. Then it was like, yo, we should keep cooking. Yeah. And it just started out like that. And now it's like, it turned into a multi-million-dollar situation that I'm going to have more developments on in a few weeks.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So lastly, even outside of that, everybody's talking about the you and Drake shit, that you and Drake been sending records back and forth. I hope you got Drake rapping on some. I hope you got him rapping on some real hard, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what y'all want to hear him on.
We need to hear that. That's no disrespect. Listen, I understand the business move. I didn't want to hear Tootsie slide. I want to hear the nigga on some, you know what I'm saying? I know you could bring that up.
I'm going for bars Drake. That's what I went for. And you know what I mean? I'm a fan of all his work. Well, you know, that's who I'm a big fan of. You know what I'm saying? And people kill me when they act like that nigga pen game ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? That nigga pen game is stupid. And as a fan, that's what I wanted to hear. And I wanted to be on a song with him by one of the most successful, dopest niggas in the game, just rapping. I wanted to trade bars with niggas like that. And you can see that's my method, from the Pusha T feature, from the Black Thought feature, you know what I'm saying? From the Kiss and from Royce to 5'9". I want to be like in a cloth with the spitters, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I'm seeking out, people like that. So, you know what I mean? If you a spitter, you know what I mean? I might need you, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Now that's how I feel. I definitely think Drake is spitter. He one of my favorite artists. When he get in his bag, them timestamp raps, he really rapping. I always debate a couple people in the industry, like when you talking about like, you know, spitters and all-time spitters, do you feel like does ghostwriting affect that to you? Just in terms of like, not even necessarily Drake, but in general, if we talking about like putting priority on like spitters and rappers and shit in all-time lists?
It's hard to say because we haven't ran into that. Besides that situation he had, and it's like we know ain't like that nigga was writing that shit. You know what I'm saying? That we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Ain't like a nigga wrote that.
Right.
And then, you know, Drake is one of the biggest artists in the world. Right. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, you could be a big hip hop artist, but you don't get to be one of the biggest artists in the world from hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some singing involved. It's gonna be everything. You see Eminem, I'm not afraid. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be songs like that. So I understood it. You know what I'm saying? I understood where he was coming from, and I understood where other niggas was coming from too. So it's a thin line between that.
Okay. So another thing, man, I want to ask you, just because you speak about your brother a lot, man, in the music, your brother that passed. And, you know, you could tell that really affects you, man. Like just listening to the way you speak about it and how much that impacted you. How much do you feel like that situation kind of shaped just where you at right now?
Oh man, in a big way, because you know my big brother was like that was my brother. You know what I mean? That was my dog. And mind you, that happened. I was in prison with Emory when that happened. So when I left the jail, I had my brother, but when I came back, I didn't. So it was like the world felt like 30 degrees colder to me. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't trust niggas. That fucked my trust levels up. I kind of became more. My heart got a little colder. Everything. You know what I'm saying? When a situation like that happened, I done lost a few homies, but I never lost nobody that close to me. You feel what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? It made me a little bit more edgy. You know what I'm saying? It affects you in that way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like somebody took something from me. You know what I mean? And for a minute, we ain't know who did it. You know what I mean? So it was like I really couldn't trust nobody. Niggas would come and dap me up. I had that look on my face because I don't know if they lined it up. I don't know if they had nothing to do with anything. So, you know what I mean? It was that type of situation.
Right. I know being that was your older brother, he was cool with Westside and Conway. How did he usher you into like kind of meeting with them and fucking with them like that?
No, we cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all all cousins, real cousins?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. You know what I mean? My mom and Westside Gun mom like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was on the phone with him the other day. He was like, man, you know they're the same person. I'm like, hell yeah, they act just alike.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They first cousins. You know what I'm saying? Our moms are.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So we grew up with each other, grew up with them niggas my whole life. And Machine Gun Black, Conway, and Westside Gun all the same age. They all around the same age. Me, I'm not. So he did usher me into that. Not because like I said, he knew them first because we all family. Kind of because it's like I was like the fourth wheel. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was always 3 or 4 years younger. So it's like sometimes they didn't want to let me hang. You know what I'm saying? I remember like I tell the story. I remember I used to go downstairs and tell them, yeah, they not letting me play the game or they not letting me. You know how that I was that age. So I had to do shit like that. And it's like I was forced on them. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom, everywhere Machine Gun go, I had one of them moms. Yeah. Take your brother, take your brother, take your brother. And so a lot of times he was going over there and take your brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
So shit like that.
And okay. That's dope. Talk about just like Westside's vision, man. And like I said, me and B-Dot always battling, debating. He loved Westside. And I'm not really a fan of Westside. I respect his I think his as an A&R, his vision is amazing. You know what I mean? That's what I give him credit for. I listened to this, the last Paris joint. You know what I'm saying? Talk about just his vision, because I feel like he's a visionary the way you know what I'm saying? Like when I hear him speak and the moves that he be making.
Yeah. He definitely is. And I've been on record saying that, you know what I mean? It's a lot of things that he saw for this that I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I just got off the phone with him earlier. He used to always tell me like, yo, Buzz, you about to be doing this. You about to make more money than you ever did. Like he's telling me this when I was still living in the projects. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, nigga, I hope you're right. You know what I'm saying? Because shit. Right. But you know what I'm saying? I just was on the phone with him. I'm saying I just bought something. I'm like, yo, I was telling him what I bought. He was like, see, nigga, I told you. You know what I'm saying?
Big boy purchases, nigga. What you making the?
I mean, just don't be surprised when y'all see me come through with the bees on the wheel.
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
I like that. How much do you like? How much or how influential is he just in terms of not even necessarily just crafting the sound, but the direction? Is he like the sole focus of the direction of Griselda?
For me, I would say him and Conway are. You feel what I'm saying? Because like I tell people this all the time, it's like for Tana Talk 3, that breakout project that I did, he picked majority of the beats. You know what I'm saying? He picked a lot of those beats. And Conway like helped guide me into that. He helped guide me like when I was writing. You know what I'm saying? I remember like being in a studio writing, just me and Derringer in there late nights, and like I said, I'm fresh off the projects. I'm working. You know, these dudes, they got a deal. You know what I'm saying? They just got them a check. They living their life. You know what I'm saying? They like you said, like you heard their name before you heard mine. So they at that point, they living that life. And me, I'm not there yet. So I was like grinding, and but he's still coming down in the studio, like, yo, make sure you know what I'm saying, go crazy on niggas. Niggas is listening. Da da da. You know what I mean? Giving me them talks and shit. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? After I'm a person where I'm a type of artist where I don't need my hand held. You know what I'm saying? I could watch. Really, you ain't even got to tell me how to do it. I could watch. Okay, that's how niggas moving. We doing that. Bung, bung, bung. And I could do everything myself after that. And they know that. And they know that. So after that, I was good.
Yeah. Okay. So just tell me, man, lastly, like, you know, in terms of just the next direction, because y'all leveled up so crazy last year. Mm-hmm. How do you kind of keep it going, keep the momentum? Like, how do you, what is it going to take to kind of hit that next level up again?
Bigger moves, man, bigger partnerships, bigger jewelry, bigger shows. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going in a direction, keep going in an upward direction. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way, you know what I'm saying? Never stagnant, never moving backwards. If we could do that, we're going to be all right.
I feel that.
And it's three of us. And let me tell people, it's three of us. So we kind of like we cheating. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, it's like we could pass the baton on to each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know people like to compare me and Conway, compare this and that. But, you know, that's okay. But I want people to know it's like we're on teams. You know what I mean? It's like when them niggas, if Conway go, he dive and he score a touchdown, I'm going to be celebrating with him. I might spike the ball with the nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's cheating, man. We got an advantage because it's three of us. We just passing a baton. And I felt like when I warmed up and I was doing my thing, that was just those niggas passing the baton to me, and Griselda gave me an opportunity to be where I'm at, and that's kind of like giving back to Griselda for that opportunity. It's like basically doing my job.
Now that's what's up. How much do y'all are y'all competitive against each other with bars? Because like I watch different freestyles y'all do, and it'd be like sometimes I feel like you had it, you was the best on there. Other times I feel like Conway might get it. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all compete like that internally?
I'd be lying to you if I say we don't, because nobody wanna, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wanna get edged out. Yeah. But I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of times, like I told you, we on teams. A lot of times I know what Conway about to do, so I just do my little shit and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Right. Cause like when my competitive shit is like, I'm gonna make sure I got some lines. I got to make sure that I'm not going to get on this shit with this nigga going crazy. I know he about to rap for 4 minutes. I'm not about to get on here and shit the bed. So I'm going to make my shit as dope as fuck. But I'm not trying to like out rap. I'm not going in there trying to like, yo, I got to out rap Conway. Like that's not my thing when I go in there. Right. I'm using his bars as mine. You know what I'm saying? I go in there, I say some shit, bung, 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 bung. Then I pass the baton. No look pass. Boom. Yeah. And you finish. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, y'all did that when he had that freestyle. Was it Beats One? The nigga said the little homie did 12 for letting iron fly. Left when he was 16, came home Zion
side.
I was like, oh my God.
I like what the fuck what he said. He said, my hand on the knot, smiling like Anderson Paak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm like, yeah, real shit.
Yo, man. Yo, listen, I'm proud of y'all brothers, man. Y'all really breaking the mold and kind of and paving a lane right now that a lot of people didn't think was possible at this point in the game. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm proud of y'all niggas, man. Keep going, bro. Real talk.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that, man. We're going to keep hustling.
Absolutely, man. Yo, man, Benny the Butcher, I'm glad you pulled up. Dope episode, my nigga. You have to come back when you got the Bentley, when the movie signed out, you got to come pull up.
I'm coming through, man. I'm coming through, man. You know what I'm saying? I might Uber in that joint the first day. You know what I mean?
Yo, come pick me up, nigga. I'm trying to get a ride, baby. You know
I got you.
Yo, all right, man. My man Benny. Yo, good to see you, brother.
All love, my boy.
All right, later.